Greetings! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas, everyone! Welcome to my little, laid back, chillax, talking Christmas stream. I might do a little bit of gaming stuff later. I'm not going to be live very long today because it's Christmas, but I figure, in the middle of the day on Christmas, most people have downtime. I know I did. Like, growing up, all of our Christmases were, like, we would go over to my grandma's house in the morning, we'd have breakfast, and then right after breakfast, we would, open all the presents, and then we would go home. And then the middle of the day would be, playing with the presents from the morning, and then in the evening time, we would go back and then have, Christmas dinner. I'm feeling pretty good, Lojo. How are you feeling today? I hope you are having a wonderful Christmas. The tooth situation is fine. Yeah. The secondary infection that I had has gone away. Or at least it's pretty much gone away. I mean, I can't feel anything swollen or anything anymore. Which is good. The healing is going great. There's no pain, so yeah. You slept super late, so you're fine. Awesome. I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking in this stream. I'm gonna be going over what I've been doing primarily while I've been not streaming for the past little bit because of the surgery and everything. I'm gonna be talking about where the channel is going into the next year. And yeah, just a lot of chatting, a lot of showing you guys, letting you peek behind the curtain a little bit, so that you can see what's going on. Maybe get excited for things that I have planned. Because I'm going full time. I'm just gonna take this and try to go full time streamer mode next year, and let's see how it goes. There's things that I've been wanting to do that I haven't done, because I've been splitting my time between doing this and then doing other things and going out and trying to find traditional work, which is getting harder and harder because my back is getting worse and worse. So I've decided, okay, next year I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm gonna keep looking for office work, and I'm gonna dedicate time to streaming and writing. And my goals for next year is get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, get to 1,000 followers on Twitch, and get my first book in a published state. I'm also going to be fixing that audio. Cause yeah. Did any audio actually play there? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's updated. Okay. My audio thing right here was frozen for a second. I'm like, oh no, is the audio not working? It's working though. Yeah, it's working. Good. So yeah. There's a small squish sound. Yeah, and the lady's voice track was there too, but I don't have that balanced correctly. I need to make that one a lot louder, and there are other sounds that I need to make a lot quieter. And a lot of the music, I need to kind of redesign the music system that I have so that I can pick particular playlists and swap between playlists. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of that between now and New Year's. And I will get to it, because right now we're on the 25th, and my next stream on the channel, Lady and I may do a collaboration tomorrow. We may not. We are going to do the collaboration on Monday, which is the 29th, right here. But then my next stream is actually going to be 4 hours before midnight on the 31st. And I'm going to do a 6-hour live stream. We're going to do 4 hours before midnight. Then we're going to do the countdown to the new year. And then we're going to go 2 more hours past that. into the new year, and that's going to be the New Year's stream. And that's going to be a continuing thing for the years going forward. I'm going to do a New Year's countdown stream. And like ring in the new year with anybody who wants to show up and do New Year things. So yeah, we're still going to be a little light on streams to the end of December, and I'm going to break down why that is and what I'm doing. And yeah, and I guess we can get into that right now. When it comes to the people that I have working with me for this channel, there are no people. It's just me. So I have wrangled in an assistant, which is ChatGPT. Say hello to chat, please.
Never give up, never surrender.
Yeah, see ChatGPT. Can you dictate this? Can you read this? Can I read this?
Hello, chat. Hope everyone's doing great today. Sending good vibes and a friendly wave your way.
Yeah, ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is helping me with things like planning out the schedule for the year. I already have that. I have been discussing this with okay, yeah, so here we go. There's going to be 2 custom AIs that I implement over the course of the year. One of them is going to be called Aria, Autonomous Reactive Intelligent Assistant, which is going to be kind of like my assistant. And this AI is going to be in the Discord channel. So you will be able to talk with Aria and give messages to Aria, and she'll be sending me messages and reminders and wake-up calls and things like that. So once I get Aria finished, Aria is going to be in the Discord and kind of like an interactive assistant for me. Aria isn't built yet. You can see her bot in the Discord, but I'm still working on that. And I haven't decided if Aria is going to be a ChatGPT. You can see I kind of have an Aria profile right here. But I don't have her finished yet. So, but once she is finished, Aria will be available to chat with in the Discord server. There will be a special channel for chatting with Aria, and she'll be monitoring a bunch of other channels in there. I have some other ones here. Ami is a different project called the Titan Project that is secret, so I can't really talk about the Titan Project. Lyra is an AI. Can Aria participate in a battle royale? No, Aria will not be in the Twitter chat, but I will get to that in just a moment. Lyra is an AI, is a custom AI that I'm building on top of ChatGPT that's designed to help me write my book. So right now I'm writing history, basically history books. Like, this is what the elements do. These are the different elements. This is like the school for the elements. These are the politics of the world. This is like the history of the world. This is the religion. Like, I'm writing all these things, and then this AI is going to have access to that stuff and is going to help me keep things straight. Basically an interactive encyclopedia is what I'm writing with this one right here. But when it comes to chat, Nova is another one. Neural operations and vocal assistant. I'm writing Nova to be kind of an assistant on stream. So Nova will be the one that will be able to talk in Twitch chat. I'll be able to dictate things to Nova, and then Nova can write my message out in chat or read chat and bounce it back to me. Kind of the way that Narishm works with Vettel. It's a very, very similar thing. Vettel's a lot further along with Narishm, so Nova's not going to be anywhere near as advanced as Narishm is. But it's going to be the same kind of thing, just like an interactive thing. And I'll make a little thing, like a little animal, I guess, companion that sits like right here next to me. That will be Nova speaking, and Nova will be like both speaking to me in real time and interacting with chat. She'll have the ability to do both, and to change things on the screen and like the name of the stream and switch things in OBS and stuff like that. So I'm writing 2 AIs that are going to help with all of that stuff. Nova for on-screen stuff, on-stream stuff, and Aria for the Discord. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm going to be doing some of this work on stream as well, so that you guys can see what I am. Maybe someone will watch the stream and they will. But because it's just me, I'm using these AI tools to assist me. As you can see, I have ChatGPT here. I have Google Gemini here. And I've been, like, for the past day, I've been using ChatGPT and Google Gemini to build this. Because I'm going to build a website for me to host all my things. I'm just going to put it up on GitHub. And I wanted a website that has like this scrolling effect, right? Where you can scroll and you have like this above panel, and then you have like a background that doesn't scroll, and then a new panel, and then a different background, and then a new panel, and then a different background, all the way down to the bottom. And I know how to build this whole thing myself. But it takes time to code all of that. What I did with actually writing this code, and I can show you in VS Code what it is this right here. This is the code that's driving that particular website, right? So it's got the CSS right there, it's got the HTML right there, and it's got the JavaScript down here at the bottom. And most of this code was written by ChatGPT. Now, the thing about using AI things to write code is that they will get you 80% of the way there. But then ultimately at the end, the code doesn't really work. You have to go back and fix it. But all of the mundane, redundant stuff that you have to do with writing code, that is just taking up time. I can get one of these GPTs to do that work for me, and then I can come back in and fix it. Because like for this page here, the initial concept of the page, ChatGPT built. But then ChatGPT couldn't figure out how to get the background to stay solid and not scroll with the front panels. I'm like, oh, well, that's background position fixed, right? So I knew immediately. I'm far away from where that is in the code. But I knew immediately what I had to do to get the background in the back to stay fixed, right? And so I went back and I fixed that, and then it works. And then I was like, okay, I have these assets that I pulled from a game, because I'm not an artist, so I'm swiping game assets. Blizzard can sue me if they want, but whatever. I'm like, I would like to have the two things like bordered by this metal frame and then connected with these chains and have the chain scroll, right? But I don't want to have to go through the detail of making this border. So I said, if I give you this image, can you chop this up into pieces for me? And then make just the bottom bar here, and then scale it, and then blend it together so it looks like one solid metal piece. And then do that for the top bar here, right? I know how to do that with CSS, right? I can do that. ChatGPT did it in like 10 minutes, where it would have taken me like an hour and a half. So, oh no, I mean abducted. Ah, bye-bye. Welcome, PT. So yeah, but when ChatGPT did it, it looked horrible. It was the wrong size. I mean, the blending was right, but I had to go back and tweak everything. Aliens don't sleep on Christmas. Yes. Feliz Navidad. But yeah. So yeah, little things like that, like ChatGPT set up the chains on the side, but I had to go back and make them actually tile correctly and connect and all that. I asked for this little menu that jumps to the different sections. But I wanted it to scroll to the sections like this, right? So you click the button and it scrolls to the page to the sections, like the chains are dragging the sections up and down. This is my website that I'm building. It's just bare bones right now because I only started building it yesterday. But yeah, so ChatGPT couldn't figure out how to do this at all. I had to ask Gemini to do this, and Gemini couldn't figure out how to make it scroll. But like doing the scroll, like I knew immediately what was going wrong with the scrolling. The layers on the page was wrong, and it was scrolling an invisible layer instead of grabbing the content layer, right? I know how to fix that. So yeah, I'm using AI to help with the channel, but it's only because it's me, just me, and AI can get me 80% of the way there, and so I only have to do 20% of the work because, yeah, this can get me there. So this website isn't live yet. This is just running locally. I'm gonna have a sound effect for when the screens change. AI cancel Nari. Oh no. I'm thinking about putting like another chain like right here on the side that moves up and down when the page moves. So like when the page moves down like that, the chain over here moves up. And then when the page moves up, that chain moves down. And then when you're passing over these background areas, maybe have like more chains in the background areas back there moving. Is it cheaper than using one of the web page building services? Yes, because you have to pay for all of those services. I don't know of any web page building services right now that are free. The last one that I knew about went away in like 2001, and that was GeoCities. I think Amazon has something, but you basically have to be a web designer to use that. I'm not planning on doing anything fancy in the back end. I don't need like a server-side Apache server or anything like that running. So all I'm gonna have is like an HTML page. GeoCities, yes. All I'm gonna have is like basically what you see here is gonna be an index HTML page. There's gonna be a style page, and there's gonna be JavaScript, and probably multiple of these that are gonna be pulled together. Like, cause on the finished one, the CSS and the HTML and the script are not gonna be on the same page. That was there 3,000 years ago. Yes. Welcome, Lansley. Welcome. But yeah, I'm gonna chop these up into their own separate files, like you should with good coding standards. I just have everything like together in the same page right now because I'm Back when phones had wires, yeah. Although, at the time of GeoCities, we had wireless phones. We had the indestructible blue Nokia phone. That was, I think everybody had that. The Nokia, what was it, the 3390? What was this thing? The 3310, the Nokia 3310. The indestructible cell phone. I had this phone. And it's interesting. Like, you still have your Ericsson? Yeah. In 1,000 years, when they're like digging up what the old world used to be like, they're gonna find these they're not gonna find iPhones or anything like that. They're gonna find these fucking things. They're gonna be like, this is what phones look like in the early 21st century. And like, no, it's not. This is what they look like in the late 20th century. They just don't die. You plug it in, it's still gonna turn on. Oh no, this wasn't a QWERTY keyboard. This was T9. Anybody remember the T9 texting? Yeah. Oh, Lojo starting to fight. Super survival bomb explosion like one soldier's Game Boy. I heard a story about a Game Boy. There's a kid who had an old Game Boy Pocket, and he set it on his windowsill in fall, and it had fallen off the window, and he didn't know it fell off the window. He looked for it everywhere, he couldn't find it. The next spring, while they were outside digging a new garden, he found it in the dirt. It had been out there fall, winter, and spring, like 2 seasons basically. It's a full season and 2 half seasons. And he brought it back in, ran it under tap water, put in fresh batteries, and it turned on. They don't make tech like that anymore. Now, if you look at a Nintendo Switch wrong, it bricks itself, right? I had another friend who put a chair leg on top of his Super Nintendo, punched a hole clean through the console, chipped off a part of the motherboard, and back through the bottom of the console, and it still worked. I'm like, yeah. They don't make tech like this anymore. Anyway, what was I doing? Yes, website. So, in the new year, I don't know when in the new year, I'm hoping sometime in January, or in the first week of January, I want to have the website up and running. With the Wii, you can remove 70% of the motherboard and it'll still work. Yeah. Like, one thing about Nintendo up until the Switch era, their consoles were, like, dense. An HP laptop that bricked itself after a failed BIOS update? Yeah. My sister had a Windows Vista laptop that got itself into an unrecoverable boot loop. Because Windows Vista sucks. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Not that we have a topic. Anyway, this website is gonna have a bunch of cool. Yes, planned obsolescence, I think is the word for what they call that. And I watched a Veritasium video about that with light bulbs. And the reason that light bulbs blow now is so that you have to buy new ones. Because when they started making light bulbs, they very quickly got to the point where they could make them where they would essentially last forever unless they were like massively overloaded. And what happened is people would buy light bulbs and then they wouldn't need to buy light bulbs anymore. And they're like, okay, this isn't good for our company. We need to have people constantly buying light bulbs. Let's make the light bulbs where they only last for a certain amount of time before they fail. That way people will have to keep buying light bulbs. And so they redesigned the light bulb to fail after a certain amount of time. And they've been doing that ever since. I have parts of my old Commodore 64. The Commodore 64 was the computer that I started on. My dad started me playing around with the C64 and with BASIC when I was 3 years old. Yeah. I have the modem. I still have the modem. I think the modem is actually in my closet. Yeah, the Commodore. We had kind of internet in the 80s. It was called Telnet, and it was basically message boards. I still have my Commodore 64 modem. I remember Commodore 64. Yeah, like the app was like Print Shop. Yes. I say modem. This is not any kind of speed that you would recognize as an actual internet connection. It took like a half hour to download a text file. This is the 80s, right? I mean, this was the days where you didn't go to the store and buy a box that had your program in it. What you bought was a magazine that had a printout of code, and then you went home and typed the code into BASIC and then compiled the program yourself. Your dad forgot to turn off a modem during the storm and it blew a fuse. Yeah, I can see that. The tech plugged in scanner. It's not programmed to break yet. Yeah. And yeah, like cars are getting bad like these days, because core features that should be included with the car are now subscription services. Like the backup camera and stuff, and like using the radio. Like you have to like subscribe like $15 a month to unlock these features in your car for a lot of newer cars now. Yep. But anyway, this website. The website is going to be tied into Google Calendar. That is going to be my stream calendar. So you'll be able to go to the website, and one of these pages, instead of saying red, blue, and green, you click on it and it'll pull up a calendar, and then you'll have a new menu on the calendar like over here where you can show weekly or monthly or maybe even yearly. And you can see all the streams that I have planned for any particular day. And I'm gonna go through that plan of what I'm planning to do shortly. And then you're gonna have another page you can go to here where you can see, like, if I'm live on Twitch, it's gonna display my Twitch stream right here. But then you'll be able to go down and see, we'll go to red because YouTube is red, like past YouTube videos and stuff right here, like other social media stuff right here, like the quests that I'm planning to do, the whole questing system. You need to pay a subscription to turn on your car. Maybe with some cars. Maybe with some cars. I know a lot of the remote features now are locked behind subscriptions. So there's a lot of cars that let you like turn on the car with your phone, or use like a key fob, and some of those features are locked behind subscriptions. Yeah. Yeah, there are people making, like, search it up on YouTube. There are people making videos about the stuff that they've discovered about their new cars, and it's getting bad. So yeah, website coming, hopefully in January. I've got a lot of stuff coming up, and I've been working crazy how cars have DLC. Yes, and the DLC is features that should have been included in the main thing. That you're gonna try to sell an EV where you had to rent the battery pack? That's crazy. So, I mentioned this before. We're gonna have the stream today. There may be a collaboration stream tomorrow. It depends on what Lady is doing, whether or not we collab tomorrow. We are gonna be doing the collaboration on Monday, with me and Lady. But then my next solo stream is going to be on the 31st. Now on the 31st, let me go ahead and make this here. New Year's Eve. This is an event. This does not start all day. This is going to start at we'll say 8 p.m. and it's gonna go till 2 a.m. Yeah, that's like 6 hours. Not repeat. This is gonna be yellow. Make that public. So yeah, we're gonna have a New Year's stream starting at 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve. It's gonna be 4 hours before New Year's, and we're gonna ring in the New Year's, and then we're gonna go 2 more hours into the New Year and end at 2 a.m. This is Eastern Standard Time. But when you look on the calendar, it will display in your local time zone. I'm gonna make sure it does that. And so that's gonna be my next like full stream, is the New Year's Eve stream, and that's gonna be going into the new year. And then that Friday right there, where we normally have the collaboration stream, there may or may not be one. Once again, it's gonna come down to Lady and whether or not she's available to collaborate. But I'm not going to be streaming on this Friday or Saturday if there's not a collaboration stream. And then you may notice right here, I have AGDQ scheduled for this week. The GDQ events are events that I really care about. I really like what they're doing with supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation and Doctors Without Borders. I'm really a big fan of the speedrunning community. So I'm going to be taking these 2 weeks off, kind of off, every year, and focusing on like pointing things towards the GDQ events. Now, that means I'm not going to be streaming gameplay or chatting or anything like that on my channel for these weeks, but I will be doing watch-alongs for the GDQ events, where you can like tune in and chit-chat with me while the GDQ event is going on, and we're watching like speedruns and stuff for a bunch of the stuff that I'm interested in. I have actually tweeted at Games Done Quick. Let's see if they've responded. They haven't yet, but it's Christmas. I don't expect it to get their exact policy for doing a reaction / watch party stream for parts of the main AGDQ and SGDQ events, right? Because I want to make sure that it's okay to restream it, because a lot of times it gets tricky, because I know they get permission for a lot of the games that they run on Games Done Quick, but that permission doesn't necessarily go out to other people that are restreaming that event. So even though they have permission for some of the games, I wouldn't. So I don't know if they have a strict policy against it, or if it's just, if the people who make the games come after you, that's on you type of thing. So depending on what they say, I may be able to stream it right here on Twitch and YouTube. But if they say no, that I can't do that, this live stream will be happening in Discord instead for that week. So the first full week in January, we're going to be doing AGDQ events. They've got the plan for GDQ out. So it starts on Sunday the 4th at 11:30 a.m. And so that's right here on the 4th at 11:30. Oh, here it is. So yeah, and the first game is gonna be Super Mario Sunshine. That sounds fun. Jet Set Radio. Sure, why not? Bat to the Heavens. Never heard of it. Check that out. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. I've streamed this game. So yeah, checking out a speedrun of that sounds fun. Shovel Knight, the King of Cards campaign. I'm a fan of Shovel Knight, even though I haven't streamed it yet. Wu-Chang Falling Feathers, I have no idea what that is. This is Super Mario World backwards, and it says 96 exit backwards, or Tixie 69. That's an interesting thing, right? So there's a lot of stuff here that I'm interested in, on the opening day. So what I figured I could do is kick up a live stream. We'll have the thing in the little window, right here, with the speedrun and stuff, and then I'll be just chit-chatting with commentary. I might shrink the screen down to be up here, and then be working on some of the website stuff over here while we are watching SGDQ. And if you guys want to watch the event full, you can open it up on your browser and just listen to me chit-chat about things, I guess. As if you want to watch with me at all. But I want to put a big focus on a lot of the GDQ stuff for that week. Because I really like the GDQ event, and I want to support it. So I've blocked off both of the weeks of GDQ, and it's typically the first week of January and the last week of July is when these two events go. So twice a year, I'll have a time where I'm not going to be putting a lot of effort into the streams. I'll have more time to just kind of get caught up on back-end stuff while still providing a little bit of content and interaction. The schedule for the upcoming year. My streams are going to get a lot more structured in the upcoming year. As you can see, I have streams scheduled from Monday to Friday, starting at 12 noon and going till about 8 p.m. Now that changes on these days. On Mondays, it's going to go to 6:30 because at 7:30 the collaboration stream with Ladies Channel starts, and that usually runs till 10. So we'll have 2 streams on that day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's going to go straight to 8 o'clock. On Wednesdays, it's going to stop at... Normally, it's going to stop at 8 o'clock on those days. The GDQ for Baldur's Gate 3 was amazing. Yes. There's a lot of amazing things for GDQ stuff. And I want to showcase a lot of that. So yeah, the basic new time for the stream, every weekday from noon to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to put that right through the middle of the afternoon. And I had a long conversation with ChatGPT and Google Gemini. I had them look up the games that I normally do basically a lot of the research for me, and then I went back and double checked their findings with the places that they found it. to see when the games that I play best, what days they play best on, and when is the best time for smaller streamers to do their live streams. And the evening slots are filled by a lot of the bigger content creators. There is a hole specifically right in the middle of the afternoon, and for a lot of the content that I do, it plays better in the afternoon. And I'm gonna get into what these quests are in a moment, and why I picked the particular days that I did with it. So yeah, my streams are going to start at noon, and they're going to end at 8, Monday through Friday. That's going to be the schedule for the upcoming year. Mondays and Fridays are going to see collaboration streams. So the main stream will end a little bit earlier, and then the collaboration will start. And then I'm going to take both days of the weekends off to decompress and relax, and then come back for the new stream on Monday. It's going to be very much like a job. Because if you wanna make it a job, you have to treat it like a job. So I'm gonna make a set schedule and keep to this schedule. Now the different things, I've been talking about this quest system for a while, and I tried to implement it before, but like all the stuff happened at the end of the year, and it was rough, so it kind of fell apart a little bit. But I have a lot more planning and things going into it for the upcoming year. So I've got a bunch of different quests here, and I know that I want to kick in the final quest and the second quest, and that everybody voted in the Poke quest right here. And I've been talking a lot about World of Warcraft, so I want to put in the Azeroth quest, or I think I ended up calling it the War quest over here. And this is something else that the website is going to be able to help facilitate on. I have this idea of a quest, right? And the first one is called the Final Quest. So I'm going to be playing through the Final Fantasy franchise, like all of the games. We're going to start with the Pixel remasters. And these little individual games are going to be called adventures. So, like, the first adventure is going to be Final Fantasy 1, the Pixel Remaster version. And then once we get Final Fantasy 1, that's going to unlock the ability to play the other versions of FF1 that I'm interested in playing. There's only 3 other versions that are notably different from the Pixel Remaster. The NES version, the Dawn of Souls version, and the 20th anniversary version. So once like Final Fantasy is complete, these other things will be possible unlocks for like side adventures, and you'll be able to vote on those. And if they get voted in above the next step in the main quest, then we'll take a detour and we'll do like one of these little side adventures. And I'm calling these adventures and the whole thing like a quest, right? And we've got different phases, and I'm going to redefine this and lock this in. I'm in the process of doing that right now. So the final quest, I like the wordplay of calling the first one the final quest. I think it's fun. It's final because it's Final Fantasy, but it's also the first one. You call the first one the final. That's funny to me. And then the next one, calling it the second quest, right? Because it is the second one, but Legend of Zelda quite famously has a second quest in a lot of the games. So after you beat it, you can play it again and play through the second quest. So once again, wordplay in the name. Yeah, you see what I did there. So I've got the final quest on Monday because long form RPG content. Yes. In the beginning of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the first thing it says is Final Stage Bloodlines. I have a Castlevania quest too. But yeah, turns out long form RPG. Yes, I'm aware I need to fix the audio on the redeems. I will be doing that. Um, but long form RPG content plays well on Mondays. Yeah, it does. I guess people are like they're coming off their weekend and they normally like don't have a lot to look forward to on Monday, but then like having a nice like relaxing RPG stream to listen to like while they're at work and stuff. RPG content plays very well on Mondays. So yeah, the final quest, since it's going to be primarily RPG content, and even after we finish the final quest, going into other RPGs like the Dot Hack series or the Kingdom Hearts series, I'm going to keep that RPG content on Monday. Tuesday I left open. Initially, we'll talk about the dev quests after I talk about the other ones. The next thing I wanted to do was slot in the second quest somewhere. And the type of content, like Zelda games and action games, play well in the middle of the week for a lot of people. You're looking for something a little more action, a little more pick-me-up for a lot of the audience, and action games tend to play better than RPGs or anything like that in the middle of the week. So Zelda being primarily an action game slots very well into the middle of the week. And once the Zelda series is finished, other action game series like Horizon Zero Dawn, for example, would slot into that category very well. Like Assassin's Creed would slot in there very well. I wanted to keep the PokeQuest, although I'm gonna start it over. And the ideal spot to put it, because it's an RPG. Yes. So the final quest is gonna go till about 6:30 on Monday, and then there's gonna be an hour break. That break is gonna be for me to like go get some food and eat, and then we're gonna come back and do the collaboration stream at 7:30 after that. So there will be an hour break between the streams, and I'm gonna be keeping to those breaks for sanity checks, because you don't want to just plow everything back to back. You have to have breaks and stuff in there, which is why I have 2 days off back to back that I'm, for the most part, not gonna break that. I'm not gonna have like weekend streams unless I just get extremely bored and like, you know what, here's a surprise weekend thing, bam. Typically weekends are going to be days off, and the times outside of the stream times are going to be off times. I'm not going to be going over a lot on a lot of these streams, because I am going to be streaming every day. So if we finish early on one day, the stream just finishes early that day. We'll come back the next day for something new and exciting. So yeah. Zelda fits really well on Wednesdays. So I want to put the PokeQuest on here because Pokemon Blue was very well voted in on the community as a game that they wanted to see me do, but I didn't get to finish it because of all the stuff that started happening in November. I think it's before November. It's like October when like the shit really started to hit the fan. And we were almost done with it. But I'm gonna start it over, start fresh. We'll go back with Pokemon Blue, and we're gonna restart the PokeQuest. And the next day that fit best for it is Friday. But Fridays typically play well with more chaotic content. The more chaotic stuff, the better. Typically plays better on Fridays than any other thing. Pokemon doesn't really fall into that category. But the Pokemon games are like popular enough that people will come by. And so, like, what I do on Friday, like, the next thing that appears on Friday may not be an RPG. It could be something completely wildly different after we're done with Pokemon, right? Warcraft. I recently did the Warcraft's lore reviews on the channel, and yeah, I was like reviving my love of Warcraft, like a wild card Friday. Yeah, well, kinda. Tuesday is kind of a wild card thing. I'll cover that in a second. But the Warcraft games are primarily RTS games, real-time strategy. So there's a bunch of them, right? So when we're looking at Warcraft right here, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 are all RTS games, and then the StarCraft series is all RTS games, and there's a lot of content right here for RTS stuff. So now that everybody is kind of familiar with the Warcraft, if you watch my Warcraft review stuff, I figured let's go through the actual games and you can see the lore as it was brought out in the games, and I can talk about like where things slot in, like the individual books and things. We can have like an in-depth discussion of Warcraft, and then after we get out of Warcraft, we can go straight into StarCraft and do the same thing with StarCraft, because StarCraft and Warcraft have a very, very interesting storyline. Yes, some of the more current issues with the lore, we'll be discussing those as well. So that left Tuesday. Now I know at any point, I may have a day where, I'm not really feeling like playing this game. Like it might be a Monday and I may be burnt out on RPGs, right? It might be a thing, well, you know what? I don't feel like playing this Final Fantasy game right now. It's not my thing. So to avoid getting burnt out, I reserve the right at any point to swap out one of these quests with a rando day for my sanity, a sanity rando day. This is not a Christmas song. Okay. This is also not a Christmas song. What? Okay. It's not a Christmas. There are a lot of not Christmas songs in here. Here we go. Oh, I guess that kind of was a Christmas song. Anyway. So yeah, I reserve the right at any point for any one of these streams. There may be a day where I'm just not feeling that particular game, so I'm like, you know what? We're going to do this instead. So I'm going to have a bunch of games on the cuff that I can use. And the games that I'm going to use for this particular relief is going to be factory simulation games. Particularly Factorio Space Age first, then Dyson Sphere Program, then Satisfactory. We're going to play through like the main campaign of each of these games. And anytime I'm feeling a little burnt out on one of these quests, we're going to have a Factorio day or a Dyson Sphere day. And we're going to play a little bit of that. And then we've got Tuesday, which is kind of the wild card slot. Now, what I want to do on Tuesday, I've talked about possibly building part of my AI stuff on stream. I had the coding streams where I was going through like the code review stuff, like the game coding websites and stuff. We're going to bring that back on Tuesday. And I'm calling that the dev quest. So I'm going to start with getting refreshed with coding through like the coding websites and stuff. And once I finish those, I'm going to start building up the AIs on Tuesday that I'm going to be using on the stream and getting those implemented. and then maybe start building a game. I don't know. I have a couple of ideas for games. So we're going to be doing that on Tuesday. But Tuesday is also a wild card slot. So if I get it that in my head that, I want to play some Factorio, but I also want to play all the other games that I'm scheduled for that week, I'm going to override the DevQuest stream and just put a Factorio stream there instead. If like we are say we're on like Final Fantasy 1 and we've got maybe an hour left in the game. Well, an hour isn't a full stream for the next Monday. So what we'll do with that extra hour for Final Fantasy, we'll make Tuesday a Final Fantasy stream, right? To finish off that first one, so that the next week on the Final Fantasy day, we can start fresh with the next adventure in the list. So Tuesday is very much going to be a wild card thing. It's going to say DevQuest on it, but it's could be overwritten at any particular time, depending on what's happening with stuff. Anytime one of these days is skipped for something, it's just going to pick up the following week right where it left off before. So it's not going to be like, oh, we're skipping this whole part of the game or anything like that. It's just, we're not going to be playing it for that week. We're going to pick up where we left off the next available day on that. And I have the quest divided up into phases. And after each phase, there's going to be the option in the Discord. I don't need Facebook open. There's going to be, don't have Discord up. Okay, never mind. There's going to be a vote going on in the Discord that you can get to from both the Discord and the website, where you can vote on if you want to swap out that quest for a different quest that would slot in on that day. So say we play like 3 Zelda games and you guys are a little tired of seeing Zelda games and you want to see like the first Assassin's Creed game instead, right? I'm going to have a poll up with the options if we want to switch which quest we're on for that day. So I'm building this and that system is one of the reasons I wanted to build a website. I'm designing and building that whole system in the background right now, to where from your guys' point of view, all you're gonna have to do is say, oh, hey, this thing's up. All I need to go do is click what I want to see, and then it'll tally everything up, and then I can go ahead and make the changes, and it'll automatically, like I'll make the change here on the calendar, and then it'll automatically update to the website, and yeah. So, yeah, we're not going to be locked into these particular quests until we finish like all 22 Zelda games or all 16 Final Fantasy games. There are going to be options to swap it out and to swap it back, depending on what you guys want. I'm going to let you guys vote on that. So I'm going to have I'm going to give you the options you can pick from, and you guys will be able to choose which of those options you want. So you have kind of half the control. So yeah, and this is going to be weekdays throughout the year. So right now, we're going to take a quick little break, and then I will be right back, and I will talk about special events going on throughout the year. Be right back. Hello, I'm back. Alrighty. So yeah. When the website goes live, the schedule is also going to go live, and you're not gonna have like this. This is what I'm looking at on the back end. You're gonna have nice little thumbnails, a calendar with like nice little thumbnails, like the thumbnails that I make for all of my other stuff. Like I can show you my thumbnails for streaming, assets, thumbnails, like these thumbnails, right? So I'll have a nice little like thumbnail, like our Merry Christmas thumbnail, on the calendar, so you can see like what's going to be there for that day, what specific thumbnail is going to be. That means, yes, I'm going to make a year's worth of possible thumbnails at once to cut down the amount of thumbnails that I don't need to make over the course of the year. Thumbnails are really easy for me to make because I have a template for it. And I think I've locked down a thumbnail design that I like with my little chibi avatar and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna be designing a new background, like this background back here. But that's more stuff that's gonna be happening. So between now and the New Year's stream, and between the New Year's stream and the beginning of the AGDQ stream, and during the AGDQ week, I'm going to be working on all of this stuff on the back end to make sure that by the time we kick off the quest full on the 12th of January, all of this stuff will be ready to go. So I'm going to be burning the midnight oil to get the website, the quest system, and the calendar completely finished before January 12th. Finished, tested, put up. I'm also going to get the sounds that are very inconsistent right now, and the music updated in that same time frame. So I've already been working on a lot of this stuff behind the scenes, and I'm going to continue working on it to get everything up and running by the 12th. And so I may be able to stream a lot of me working on some of this stuff with the AGDQ content on that week, so that we can kind of watch both. That I think would definitely qualify as a transformative work and would bypass any kind of restriction on it. Let's see if anybody's... I don't expect anybody to reply to my tweet today, but you know, there's no harm in checking. So over the course of the year, there are going to be special events that I wanted to cover. And one other thing that I want to do is, like, this is just like a just chatting stream. In the VTuber world, a lot of VTubers have taken to calling these Zatsus or Zatsudan. And most streamers have a section of their live stream before and after, like, gaming content that is just chatting with the audience. It allows the people to find the streams for the social media stuff to propagate out and for people to come in, and allows a kind of decompression at the end of the stream. So I'm going to be implementing that as a hard function into my streams, also starting on the 12th. Or actually, that'll probably start with the AGDQ. So the first 20 minutes of the stream is not going to be gaming content. The first 20 minutes of the stream is going to be just me chatting with everybody. Letting the social media goes out, like talking with audience people, or talking about like what we're planning to do, what we did on the last stream. You know, getting people caught up, and then we'll go into the gaming content, and then the last 20 minutes of the stream is going to go back to the chatting mode, and we'll talk about what we just did, how we felt about that session, who we might be raiding out to, things that we're going to do on the next stream. And so we'll have a lead into and a decompression time of chatting that is bookending both sides of the stream. And if the conversation is like really good at the start of the stream, we might push down the gameplay part of the stream for like the interactive part of the stream. If we're not feeling like chatting a whole lot at the end of a stream, or if something happens, we may like shrink down like one of the chatting sessions, or if we're at a really exciting point and we just want to dive right straight back into it, like maybe a 10-minute chat instead of a 20-minute chat or something like that, right? But I am going to bookend the streams with a chatting segment like before and after. Yeah. So that's going to be a little bit of a change in the way the streams are done, but not like a terribly big one, and to bring my stream more in line with my contemporaries, right? Because the other people that are streaming and doing the things that I'm doing are doing that. That has been a proven way to help grow your audience, is to interact with your audience before and after the stream. So I'm going to implement that directly into the channel in the upcoming year. So I'm also going to there's going to be like unspoken rules about my channel. And that comes with having a set start time. My channel is always going to be live at noon. For some events, I may be starting much earlier than noon EST, but my channel is always going to be live on the weekdays at noon. Whether we started early or we're starting at noon, that's going to be like the lock-in point. If you show up on my channel at noon on a weekday, you're going to find some kind of content there for you. And there's not going to be any such thing as showing up late on my channel, because all of my channels go up the VOD immediately on YouTube. So if you miss something, the VODs are right there. So yeah, if you can't make a stream, you miss a stream entirely, but you still want to see the content, my VODs are always going to be on YouTube. They're always going to be free. I'm never going to lock my content behind a paywall. I despise that aspect of being a content creator. Like my content is always going to be free. Other things that I do, like if I'm doing a teaching series or something for like Skillshare or whatnot, that content might be like blocked off, but that's going to be a very specific separate thing. My streaming content is always going to be free. None of my streaming content is ever going to be locked behind any kind of a paywall. I don't do that. There'll be plenty of things that you can buy, because I'm going to start offering merch as well. I have idea for t-shirts and like mugs and stuff. Yeah. So I'm gonna have merch coming as well. And many of you know I'm writing a novel, and one of my goals for the next year is to get the first of my novels published. So I want to have The Dreamer finished by next year, and hopefully without too much drama, because I've already annoyed some of BookTube. I don't like people that are scamming other people. I don't like that. And one of the things that I've always like lived by is that knowledge is free. I don't like it when somebody takes free knowledge that is out there in the world and tries to repackage it and sell it to somebody, ripping them off in the process. And I hate gurus. and YouTube is fucking filled with them. Like, yeah, like I'm writing my story the way that I want to write the story. There's so many. I'm gonna rant a little bit. Ranting time. It's ranting time. I hate all of these people that are putting out videos that are like 10 things to do to make sure that your opening chapter doesn't suck, like 5 things to make sure your love triangles work, 10 ways to write your villain, right? And it's all like very basic things, and they'll make a video that's like, these are the 10 best ways to start your book, and then they'll make another video like, these are the 10 openings that are absolutely horrible that you should never use. And they'll have the same thing in both lists, so the videos contradict each other. You had a few books that had some midway, and your computer blew up after the house got hit by lightning. Ooh, that sucks. That sucks. I have a lot of my stuff written down in like notebooks and on notebooks and stuff. And I have a lot of my like library saved in the cloud, which may not be the best way to do it security wise, but right now nobody is looking for that information. So even if I did have a computer issue, I wouldn't lose the majority of my progress, because I do have cloud backups. I do have physical backups. I've lost hard drives before. Early 2000s, there was no cloud. True. There were CDs. I have a bunch of My computer is one of the only computers that is a modern computer that still has a DVD drive in it. It's actually a Blu-ray DVD CD drive, because I have a spindle, like one of those old CD spindles, but I took an arrow, like a blunt tip arrow, and I took the fletching off of it, and I poked it through the spindle of the DVD rack, so it came out the top, so that this rack is now like 3 feet tall, and I've just stored all of my old DVDs on this arrow CD spindle, and they're still there, right? Because like they've never been outside of a climate controlled environment, so they're still good. They're just sitting all on like a 2.5 foot high stack with this arrow running through the middle of them, just keeping them all in a stack. And that is literally over there in my closet, and that's all of, like, I migrated that into my archive. So I have an archive here, right? Archive. That's just a list of things by file name, or like code, which is just all the projects that I wrote when I was in college. And like there's Java programs. This is a C++ header file. That's a C++ file. That's a Java file. This is a JavaScript file. So I brought my archive onto my computer from those CDs. But should I ever lose this, I've still got the CDs literally sitting over there in my closet. These are supposed to be Christmas songs. Where are we? Okay, let's see. Really? Okay, let's try this one. So I picked a list that was supposed to be, hey, this is Christmas song. And then they just start throwing like gospel songs on there. And I'm like, you know, that's not Christmas. That's not Christmas. Anyway. Given an external DVD, I just make some play the CDs every year. The only thing that I use that DVD drive for, or Blu-ray drive, is to pull information off of off of old DVDs. I have a stack of rewritable DVDs right here on this shelf next to me, but I literally have not used them in like a decade. They're just there. I do need to hit the reset button. So anyway, holidays and special events that I want to cover over the upcoming year. In addition to having the little chatting sections before and after the streams, I want to start covering industry events that are of interest to me and are relevant to the things that I'm streaming. I want to have holiday events and several other special events throughout the year. January, as we can see right here, is going to be home to 2 of these events. New Year's. So the New Year's stream every year is going to take the same format. This is going to be one of the only streams in the year that doesn't start at noon. So the I'm live at noon rule is going to be broken on New Year's Eve to New Year's Day, because we're going to be moving the live stream from both of those days to across the new year. So these 2 days of the year, I'm not going to be live at noon. I'm going to be live at midnight. And the midnight, like right between the days, to ring in the new year. And that's gonna be the one of the only, I think it's actually the only deviation of the live at noon rule. Is at New Year's it's not noon, it's midnight, because we're ringing in the new year. The only other event that's going to be every January is going to be AGDQ. It typically takes place in the first week of January every year. They announce the actual dates at the end of the next event. So at SGDQ later next year, they'll announce where it's going to be in 2027 and when it's going to be. And so I'll be able to fill in that once I have that information. Moving forward to February, yes, I've already planned out the entire year's worth of streams. So you will be able to, on the website, go forward and backward by month and check out like what's going to be when, with general ideas of when adventures are going to end and what the next adventure is going to be. I'm going to have the whole year basically planned out in advance, and we will see where it goes. And there's going to be placeholders for events that I don't have the actual dates for yet. February is a very light month. There's only one holiday in February, and that's Valentine's Day, which is on Saturday. I don't stream on Saturdays, and I've elected not to recognize Valentine's Day on my channel for 2 reasons. One, my birthday is the day before Valentine's Day, and I will be doing a special birthday stream on the channel on that day. And doing a birthday stream and then a Valentine's Day stream kinda cheapens both, I think. And for me, the more important of the days is my birthday, and I don't have a significant other, so I don't celebrate Valentine's Day anyway. I have no reason to. And the people that do celebrate Valentine's Day, it's not like a public display holiday. It's a personal thing between you and your SO. So Valentine's Day, not really going to celebrate it on the channel. I may do a theme. Like you see my background behind me right now is blue. So on Valentine's Day, I may turn it pink for that day to represent Valentine's Day. I feel like if I represent Valentine's Day, then I also have to turn it white on March 10th to represent White Day. White Day is not something that's typically celebrated in America, but whereas Valentine's Day is usually about the woman, in some other countries, namely Japan, they have another day called White Day that is about the man. It's kind of like the male version of Valentine's Day, is where women get like fancy gifts and stuff for their male SO. Valentine's Day and White Day. So I feel like if I recognize Valentine's Day, I also have to recognize White Day. So they may be acknowledged in passing. If I'm streaming on that day, I may turn the UI pink for Valentine's Day and turn it white for White Day. But other than that, there's not going to be a special holiday event for Valentine's Day. Instead, there's going to be a special event for streamer's birthday day. And that's really going to be all there is for February. Not a lot happens in February. Coming into March, there's really not a lot that happens in March. There's St. Patrick's Day, but there's not going to be a special event for St. Patrick's Day either. Instead, I know on St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to turn the UI green in honor of St. Patrick's Day, but I'm not going to have like a special stream or event or anything going on for St. Patrick's Day. It's just going to be, you know, this is St. Patrick's Day. Hey, the UI is green today. Look, there might be a hidden shamrock floating around on the stream every once in a while, like a shamrock falls in the chat background or something like that. But yeah, nothing special. Like I may have like a shamrock hat on on that day, you know. But we're not gonna have anything special on that. Going into April, there's a couple of things that happen in April. One of them on the first, April Fool's Day, right? I'm a big fan of April Fool's Day. So you can expect the stream to happen on April Fool's Day. It's not going to be the second quest. It'll be something like part 726 of Warhammer 40k, right? When there were no other Warhammer streams on my channel at all, but you get part 746 on April Fool's Day. I'm gonna do stuff like that. You cannot trust anything that happens on this day. Everything is a lie. So, you have been warned. You may have noticed that Easter isn't on this calendar. Easter is another holiday I'm not going to recognize on the channel for a couple of different reasons. One, Easter always happens on the Sunday right here. And I'm not interested in doing a special stream on the Sunday. It's naturally my day off. It's going to remain my day off. And Easter is primarily a religious holiday. And that's not what my channel's about. Like, I don't promote any kind of religious, like overly religious stuff on the channel. And yeah, so Easter is just not a holiday that I'm interested in having anything to do with on the channel. It doesn't fit any of the themes of the channel, anything that I'm doing. So yeah, Easter is being skipped in favor of April Fool's Day. Yeah. Another thing that happens at the last of April and the beginning of May is something called Golden Week. We're going to come back to this in a second. Golden Week is a holiday in Japan, and it's a holiday that I've been like kind of involved in because I really like Japan. I like a lot of Japanese culture and stuff. So I'm recognizing a couple of Japanese holidays that are not specifically Western holidays that still tie in with like themes on my channel. And one of these is Golden Week. And in the upcoming year, it runs from the 29th to the 5th. So for this week, the UI on the channel is going to have like themes for Golden Weeks and for the individual days of Golden Week. And we may be covering special events because there's a lot of game announcements and stuff that happened in Japan along Golden Week. So we may be covering some special things in Golden Week. But primarily it's going to be a UI change for Golden Week, like for St. Patrick's Day and a lot of the other days. Yeah, just to recognize, okay, yeah, we're in the middle of Golden Week right now. This is a pretty thing, and I'll explain in detail what Golden Week is, what the different days are about, like what's going on. And yeah, we'll have a lot of cultural talk about the culture of Japan and how awesome Japan is during Golden Week. Now, I said I wanted to start covering a lot of like industry events. Now, the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival is happening 4 times next year. The first, I think it's the first of which, or it might be the second, I don't remember. I think it's the first. I think this is the first time it happens in April right here, the 24th and the 25th. Now, they stream a lot of the content from this, and it's those streams that I am interested in covering, because a lot of the upcoming stuff for Final Fantasy XIV is revealed at these streams, and Final Fantasy XIV is one of the games that is in the Final Quest over here. I've played FF14 on the channel before. It ties in very heavily with Final Fantasy. I still actively play Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah, covering the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival is something I'm really interested in doing. In addition to that, there are Final Fantasy XIV live letters that are put out by Yoshi P at different points throughout the year prior to a big patch. And I am interested in covering those as well. So anytime one of these events is happening, the stream for that day is not going to be there. So when I actually lock this in, the PokeQuest is going to disappear, and it's going to be the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival. It's going to be there on Friday, and possibly a special Saturday stream to cover the second day of the Fan Festival. Yeah. So in cases like this, there may be special weekend streams to cover some of these industry events. Events that I don't have on this calendar right now. Nintendo has events that pop up sporadically called Directs. PlayStation has the State of Play. Xbox has the Showcase. Steam has one. I don't forget what it's called. And then there's an indie one that pops up sporadically throughout the year. Whenever one of those events pop up, I'm going to be doing a co-stream reaction of those events live to see what is being announced. Because I've been wanting to do that anyway. So yeah, whenever one of those events happen, it's going to override whatever was normally planned for that day. And we're gonna check out upcoming things, and we're gonna have a discussion about it and what I think about it. We'll go back and we can rewatch trailers and stuff. So I typically will know about those events. They announce them about 2 weeks before they happen. So we could have one happening in February. Nintendo usually has a Direct in February. I have no idea where it's going to be, but if it pops up on the 25th, I'll probably know about it on the week of the 9th. So when I get the date for the next Nintendo Direct, I'll go ahead and change that date on the calendar to be like, hey, we're going to be reacting to the Direct on this day. The Direct starts at 8 a.m., so the stream will be starting at 8 a.m. or at 7:30 a.m. on that day, and then going like 6 or 8 hours past noon. So we'll still be live at noon, but we're going to be starting so that we can react to the event live. We're going to be starting a little bit before so we can talk about it, and then we can see the lead in, then we can watch the whole event and talk about it a little bit after. So I will be posting those when they become available. So when I have the dates for those events, which I don't have those dates right now. We talked about May. I'm skipping Mother's Day and Father's Day because once again those are like more personal holidays. So we're going into June, and a couple of things happen in June. One, June is Pride Month, which something I'm in support of, being a part of the LGBTQ plus community. The UI in the background is going to take on a subtle rainbow theme during Pride Month. And that's basically going to be all that I'm doing for Pride Month. Because I already use a rainbow motif in a lot of the things that I do on the channel anyway. But like the borders of the background, like the borders around the little chatting thing down here, or the window here, or up here at the top, or have like a glowy rainbow thing around them for Pride Month, and that'll just persist throughout the whole month, and then it'll shut off on July 1st. Another event that I'm looking at covering happens in June this year. June 5th through the 8th is Summer Games Fest. A lot of new games and trailers and stuff are announced during the Summer Games Fest, and so covering this event I think is very on brand for my channel. I probably won't be covering this event over the weekend, right? What I'll be doing is I'll cover the start of the event on Friday, and then I'll cover the end of the event on Monday, and anything that happens over the weekend we'll just cover on Monday. Yeah, because I don't think I would need to do anything major over the weekend. Any trailers or anything that comes out for games that I'm interested in over the weekend, we'll talk about that on Monday, with like the end of the event. So this is probably going to be a Friday, Monday thing for Summer Games Fest, covering the first day and the last day, and then just recapping those two middle days on the last day. That way it keeps my weekend intact. I just have this whole thing right here, right now, to mark when it starts and when it stops, basically. But I'm thinking I'm only gonna do like the first day and the last day of SGF. Going into July, we only got two things going into July. One, Independence Day, which is a big thing here in the US. I'm going to do a special stream on Independence Day. Whenever Independence Day falls, it's going to be like a one-off game. Or like testing a new game or something. We're going to do something special for Independence Day. If it's on if it happens to fall on a normal weekday, it'll just replace that week's stream with the Independence Day special. Otherwise, if it's on a weekend, it will trigger a special stream. So there will be an Independence Day stream on Saturday the 4th. But yeah, it's just gonna be like a one-off holiday thingy. And then I have the last week of July right here marked for Summer Games Done Quick. But you see I have it TBD, to be determined, because we don't have the exact dates for SGDQ right now. We won't know those until AGDQ is over. It's one thing they do at the end of the marathon is that they announce the next big marathon. So at the end of AGDQ, I'll have the dates for SGDQ, and I'll be able to go back and lock this in to its actual final time. Going into August, there's like nothing happens in August, right? I'm not going to cover things like Labor Day and Memorial Day and things like that. I'm not really interested in those holidays. But Obon Week, which is a Japanese holiday, does happen in August. This year, it's going to, well, I say this year, it's in 2026. It's going to be the 13th through the 16th. It is one of the Japanese holidays that I happen to care about because of some of my personal history with training in martial arts and some of my martial arts instructors. I am familiar with Obon and the Obon festivals in Japan. So we're going to be talking a lot about that and having more like culture time during that week. We're still going to be doing like the normal things. So I will probably I'm not going to have a special Obon stream on the weekends. But we are going to mention it on Thursday and Friday, and that it goes through till Sunday. But like with Golden Week, it's just going to be like a change in the background. I'm thinking about changing the background to like a light purple lavender color for Obon. And it's not gonna trigger a special stream for that on the weekends. September has a couple of things this year. One, BlizzCon is happening in September. And Blizzard games are something that I'm fairly interested in. I have attended BlizzCons via the virtual ticket in the past, but I didn't attend the last one that they did, which was the first one they had done since like all the problems with the company and it got sold off again. But this upcoming year, I am excited. I'm once again excited about the direction that Blizzard is taking some of their franchises. And they usually announce pretty much everything in the opening ceremony of BlizzCon, which is publicly broadcasted. And then the other day of BlizzCon, because BlizzCon is going to go for the 12th and the 13th. The other days are deep dives into like the behind the scenes, right? So they'll typically they'll announce a new World of Warcraft expansion, and then they'll have a bunch of things like, here's what we're doing with housing, here are the new raid zones, here are the new classes, right? And deep dive into it. But all of the announcements happen during the opening ceremony. So the opening ceremony is going to happen on Saturday, so I figured we would cover the opening ceremony on Monday. Now, for this week in September, because nothing else happens in September, I'm going to be doing for the first time on my channel a subathon. It's going to start on Monday, and it's going to end on Friday. And there's going to be a set goal for the subathon. If we meet that sub goal by Friday, we're going to add an extra day, a bonus day, Saturday to that. And there's going to be a goal for Saturday. If we hit the Saturday goal, we'll add one more bonus day as a Sunday. So it starts as a 5-day thing. It's always going to be a 5-day thing. And there's going to be goals. And if we hit the goal, we'll have the weekend added onto it. This is going to be the only time of the year where the channel is explicitly about, hey, help sub to the channel and do, like, I'm going to mention like, comment, subscribe, and sub like over the course of the year, because that's how you grow your channel. But the subathon in September is going to be the only time that I'm actively pushing sub, right? Help out the channel. This is our push for like growing and stuff. So subathon for the first time in September. I'm not doing anything crazy with it, so we're not gonna have like, oh, every sub adds 5 minutes to the stream, because that gets like crazy, like unhealthy, like really fast. The subathon is gonna have a set start, which is Monday, and a set finish, which is Friday, and then 2 bonus days, which are going to be special things that if we hit them, awesome, we hit them. If we didn't hit them, that's okay too, because we already had our finale on Friday. This is just bonus stuff anyway. So yeah, that's gonna be in September, and that's gonna be in every September going forward. The middle week in September is gonna be a subathon. Yeah, October. Now, October is Halloween month, right? And Halloween is one of the holidays that I feel like needs a special thing. Because, you know, it's Halloween, right? So I'm going to be issuing another special thing on Halloween. We have Halloween itself. There will be a special Halloween stream on Halloween. And then the entire week leading up to Halloween, which may be different amounts of time every year. If Halloween happens on like a Sunday, Halloween week will be the Saturday to Sunday before that. If Halloween happens on a Tuesday, on that year, Halloween week is going to start like on the Wednesday before. So we're going to have like 6 days before Halloween of Halloween related content, even if it's a scheduled day off. So in 2026, we're going to have 7 days in a row of Halloween stuff. Because going back 6 days from Halloween is a Sunday. I'm normally off, but it's Halloween week, so we're going to be doing something on Sunday. And we're going to override the quests on that week and have like special spooky stuff and events and things happening all throughout Halloween week, culminating with a special Halloween stream. And then going into November, right after it, is the channel anniversary event. Now, the anniversary happens on November 5th. I specifically launched the channel on November 5th so that I could hijack the Guy Fawkes poem, Remember, Remember, the 5th of November. Right? I specifically started the channel so I could hijack that poem. So immediately following Halloween, the very next day, the anniversary bonanza begins. Now, in the past, I've started this on the 5th and then gone for like a week or so. Going forward, the anniversary event is going to start on the 1st and run every day up to the 5th and then capstone on the 5th. And the anniversary event is going to be a celebration of the channel and of you guys for coming to watch the channel, and it's going to be tons of cool stuff that we're going to do. It's going to be fun, right? And it's the anniversary bonanza is going to be a celebration of the Nariverse. Yeah. So fun things are going to be happening for the bonanza. It's going to run the 1st. It's going to capstone on the 5th, and then after the day after the bonanza, mandatory rest day. So there's not going to be a stream here because I will have just streamed for an entire week straight, almost 2 weeks straight, from the 25th of October to the 5th of November with no breaks. So the day after the bonanza, no stream, and then it goes into the weekend. So I'm going to have a 3-day holiday right there, right after the anniversary, the stream anniversary date. And then we're going to come back into normal stuff. And then we have Thanksgiving, which is always the 4th Thursday in November. For Thanksgiving, I'm going to be doing a special Thanksgiving stream that is not going to be like the quest. It's going to be a one-off game for Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving streams are going to start at noon and they're going to end at about 3 or 4 o'clock. They're going to be short, about half the length of a normal stream. Because I know people are sometimes busy in the morning on Thanksgiving, and they're sometimes busy in the evening for Thanksgiving dinner. But right in the middle of the day, a lot of people have a slot that, I'm not doing anything. Like, I wonder what I can do. You can come watch a Nari stream. That's what you can do. So, I'm going to have a little midday mini stream right there in the middle of Thanksgiving Day. For anyone who happens to be bored that wants to come by and and just hang out and chill for a little bit. And then going into December of next year, I don't have dates for these, but the Streamer Awards typically happen somewhere around the first week of December. I want to cover that event. The Game Awards typically happen somewhere around the second week of December, and I want to cover that event too. And the VTuber Awards typically happens around the second to third week of November, and I also want to cover that event. So I don't know when they haven't been announced yet, but I'm going to dedicate a special stream to covering these 3 events when they pop up. And when the voting for these events pops up earlier in the year, they typically open up voting around October and November. We're gonna donate some of the opening and closing chat times of the stream to going through the votes and talking about the votes. Now, Christmas is the other big thing that I want to do. And I feel like Christmas is like this stream is a stream where people are going to be busy a lot. So I'm going to take the same thing that I did on Thanksgiving and do that for Christmas for all the days, all the ones going forward. We're going to have a full-length stream on the 23rd. That is a special Christmas length stream. And then on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day, there's going to be a stream that starts at noon and ends at 3 or 4 p.m. That's just going to be a short stream for the middle of the day on those holidays, so that people can still have the morning and the evening for family time. And if you get bored in the middle of the day, hey, there's a special Christmas midday stream for you. I'm running a little late with that stream this year, to be fair. I started really late this year. I'm going to be better prepared next year because I already have the plan. And then on through the end of the year, New Year's stream, just like it was at the start of the year. So that's basically the content that I'm looking to do over the course of the upcoming year. I have a pretty good idea what I want to do all year long and the content that we're going to see. And there's going to be different games in the different quests going forward. We're going to be able to swap out the quests, swap in special solo games. If you guys want to recommend a game, hey, I want to see you play this game, I'll put that game in a poll, and if it wins the poll, then I will call that the side quest, and we can suspend any one of the quests to take on a side quest. I've already worked that idea into the plan. So yeah, what we're going to be seeing in the next little bit is me between now and the 12th. These systems are going to go into full effect on the 12th. The website should be up, the calendar should be up, so you should be able to see all of this stuff and interact with it and click around and have fun. So yeah, I'm going to be working overtime on that between now and the 12th to make sure that all of that is up and running. Across the obelisk. We'll make a note of that. There, note made. So yeah. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I didn't have a lot of things that I was planning for this day. I will say the future Christmas Day streams, I want to have like a game that I play on Christmas. So I'm thinking about in addition to the Christmas live stream, putting out an old-fashioned Let's Play, that is an entire playthrough of a random game, and do that every Christmas. Yeah, I'm still working on that. I have a year to come up with this, so I have a little time, I think. Oh, I'll definitely check it out, and in fact, I'll check out Remy Down Under. I will check out specifically Remy Down Under playing it. Yeah. Anywho, let's see. Have I forgotten any of the things? I'll need that open. See if anybody's fond of this. Probably not. Like I said, I don't expect. People keep looking at it, but yeah, I think that is all of the points that I was looking to make. I don't think I've forgotten anything. The GoFundMe is still live, and we are still accepting funds. I still have quite a ways to go for the next round of dental procedures, cause it is still like $400 a tooth for these removals, and yeah. So I'm still going to be pointing people, hey, there is a GoFundMe if you would like to help out with both the medical bills that I'm dealing with, and with helping us like survive just month to month. Yeah, because I'm also buying like medical stuff here for me and Nari mom. Like I was able to get her a walker so she can get around a lot now, but she needs one of those shower like seat things, because she has a hard time getting in and out of the bathtub. So I'm gonna have to see about getting one of those things. So yeah, there's still other things that are coming up, and my job hunt is not faring as well, because job hunting in the US right now is just absolutely horrid. Absolutely horrid. Everybody is competing against everybody else. So, look, there's so many people that don't have jobs at the moment that the new people that are coming out of college are going into the job field, but they're competing against not only the other people that are going into the job field, but people that have been in the job market for like 10, 20 years that have been laid off and are now looking for the same positions. And there's a lot of ageism going on. A lot of places won't just straight up won't hire you if you're over 35. Yeah, so it's rough. It's a little rough right now. A little rough. Anywho, we've been having some fun, so I'm not gonna get you guys down with the downer things that are happening in the world. We'll keep it happy. It's Christmas. It's Christmas, the season of perpetual hope. I just watched Home Alone the other day. Fantastic. If you haven't seen Home Alone, go watch Home Alone. Like, no. This is Christmas. I love that show. Everybody should watch Home Alone. Anywho, I think that's where I'm going to be calling the stream for today. It's going to be a short little stream because I don't want to keep you guys all tied up on Christmas, because I know some of you might have family things to do in the evening time. A buddy of mine, Brick Road, puts out a Christmas special on his YouTube channel every year. I will link that in my Discord if you guys are looking for something to watch. Brick is awesome. He's a great friend of mine. We've been friends for like 10 years or something like that, something crazy like that. And yeah, he was one of the first YouTubers that I started watching, and I still watch his stuff today because Brick is pretty awesome. He was playing Doom this year, so he has a Christmas Doom. So I will link that video in the Discord. So pop into the Discord if you're looking for something else to do after stream, and you'll be able to watch Brick play Doom. Otherwise, I'm gonna check out who I can raid right now. Who's doing some fun Christmas stuff that I know today? Let's see. Holic is online. Issen is online. Spike is online. I think we'll drop in on Issen. I think. Maybe. Okay, it's telling me that Issen is live, but when I click on his channel, it says stream is offline. So maybe he crashed? Question mark. Oh, okay. Okay, so Issen is offline. We'll drop in on Spike Vegeta. Spike Vegeta, we're going to be seeing a lot of Spike probably doing AGDQ because he's typically one of the announcers there. Spike does a lot of speed runs for a lot of games that I like a lot. Donkey Kong 64, Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy 9. So I've watched a lot of Spike's content in the past. He also did a thing where he played through every NES game. He's currently playing through every SNES game, which is just crazy. I might do that myself at some point. I'm thinking about doing like an NES quest or SNES quest. Yeah, it's going to be as crazy as you think it is. Anyway, we're going to drop a raid over on Spike. Looks like he's playing, he's speedrunning DK64 right now. And yeah, keep tuned to the Discord and the my socials to find out when I'm going to be going live next, if there's going to be a collab tomorrow or not. And Merry Christmas. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Nari out.